How's everybody doing tonight? Am I doing good? Wow, it's bright up here. So we've a couple things. I kind of got a feel for everybody, how everybody's doing for like today, just today, since you woke up today till today. How's your day? Thumbs up. Great, amazing day. Horrible day. Worst day in the world. Kind of okay in between. How's everybody doing? Okay, gentlemen, come on. Let's see what you got. Okay, Mr. Evie, where you at, brother? Oh, he's got a thumbs up. Daniel. Okay, good. Good. Oh, ladies. Yes, Hannah. Thumb up. How you doing? Jeepers. All right, so that just helps us kind of know kind of where you are. I'm so sorry. It's been a bad day. It's going to be a great night. I promise you. It's going to be a great night. I got a very special friend. We're going to have some fun tonight, and we're also going to go into groups tonight and kind of start the journey for the next few weeks of the summer in our groups. And just so you know, we're planning a lot of cool stuff, and I'm going to talk about this in a second. But we got 2 more Chick-fil-A cards to give away. $10. We're like up in the antes, guys. $10. This is a whole 8 count, okay? She knows that, okay? So, first of all, do we have anybody online with us tonight? Anybody online? And welcome online if you're online. Is anybody online tonight? How many? 1 person. Welcome whoever is online. We're so glad that you're with us tonight. I'm not sure who you are, but welcome. We are honored that you're with us here tonight. And so if you're with us online, you get this free Chick-fil-A card. It's $10. So Brian, whoever that is, make sure that person gets their address. We'll send it to them. Now, we want to give it to them. They were going to win. So if you're with us here and you have a cell phone, I'm going to give you my cell phone. I'm so sorry. I'm going to give you my cell phone number. This is horrible because some of you guys messaged me last week while I was on vacation with your feet, and that was just awkward. I'm about to eat a burrito and I see toes. It was like, that was disgusting. Jason Massey sent me a pic. It was a horrible picture. If you got to see it, it was horrible. It was bad. So, everybody got my number. It's 912-288-0560. Make sure you put that in, 912-288-0560. After you do this, delete it. I'm kidding. Y'all will start texting me all hours of the night. Good. Okay, so everybody got your phones. Everybody got your cameras out, okay? Because here's what we're going to do is this. What I need you to do is you're going to take a picture of something that I'm going to tell you to take a picture of, okay? And then you're going to send it to me. And whoever sends it to me and I get it first, whoever on my phone I get it first, gets this $10 Chick-fil-A card. That's quick. It's easy. It's really how it works, okay? So you're going to send it to me, okay? Everybody got your phones out, okay? Everybody ready? Everybody got your phones out? Good. You're going to take a picture, remember. Take a picture and send it to me. Take a picture of your eyeball. Only your eyeball. One eyeball. That's all I want to see on my phone. One eyeball now. Send it. Go. One eyeball. One eyeball. That's it. Nothing else. One eyeball. If I get your nose, it doesn't count. I just want to see your eyeball. Now let's see. Whoa. Oh, God. Okay, that's your whole face. Hannah, I'm sorry that doesn't work. It's beautiful. Whoa. Whoa, I'm getting lots of, oh, look at that. I'm getting lots of, okay, hold on. Yes, I know, hold on. Chelsea, that's scary. No, she's like, okay, the winner is Mr. Brandon Fay. Here you go, buddy. You win the $10 Chick-fil-A gift card. Congratulations, my friend. Awesome. Thank you. Continue to send pictures. You never did what you told me you were going to do, but that's okay. You remember you said you're going to send pictures every day. No. Don't do it. Oh, great. I got you. Okay. Hey, so tonight, first of all, before I bring my friend up here tonight, we're going to, last week, I wasn't here, and I got a phone call. Let me just kind of be really real with you guys. So I got a phone call. We're at the beach. We're actually not at the beach at that time. We're at our condo, which we were staying at, which is actually a townhouse, which was an Airbnb, and it was pretty cool. So we get a phone call, and it's some of the leadership, and they were telling me some of the decisions that had to be made. And I got a phone call, and I was like, what? And it was the whole thing about adrenaline. And those of you guys know that we're not going to adrenaline this year, and we understand why. It made me so upset, though. I was kind of just sitting there. If you could have seen me, I'm there. I was telling someone, here's me on the phone. It was like, hello, and they told me, I'm like, I'm just calming down because I hate it. I hate the thought that we can't do that this year. I understand, but I didn't like it. I was very upset, and I could not function for the next 2 days. I'm kidding. But I was really, really upset because this is something that is very important. You guys are important to us, to me, to your leadership team, to your student ministry team. And so not to be able to do something that we're so looking forward to is kind of hard. And so last week you came, for those of you last week you came, and you heard all the new policies and procedures and stuff that we're looking at. And we appreciate that because we're still going to have a great time, and you can see we're doing things a little differently. But I wanted to bring a friend up here of mine that's a doctor. Some of you may know her. Some of you may not know her. But her name is Jennifer Pritchett, and you can call her Dr. Pritchett. She loves that. Actually, Jennifer is fine. You want to come with Jennifer? She's an anesthesiologist. Can y'all give her a hand? She's going to come up here with me. So I asked Jennifer to come up here because I want to know, oftentimes we hear these things that are going on, right, in the news, and you hear people say, oh, Corona, like I got my daughter, Corona. Then you got Daniel, Corona, you know, and all this kind of stuff. And it's almost become kind of funny, maybe. It's become like, what is this going on? So I wanted to ask the question to someone that knows what they're doing, who has been around this since the beginning, who's had to do a lot of craziness since the beginning, who has had to deal with death since this whole thing has started. And I just wanted to ask her a few questions, some practical things, some things that hopefully will answer maybe some questions for you as why? Why do we have to do some of the stuff that we do? What's the point? Why do we got to do some of this stuff? Because I don't understand, and sometimes visually it's kind of easier to help us see the picture of why, because I can't get it, right? So we're going to have a little fun tonight. And if you have a question, this is real important. If you have a question that you'd like to ask her, Dr. Pritchett, Jennifer, at the end, or you can just think about that question, because she's going to answer those questions for you, okay? So the thing, okay, as you can see, careful. This is Rona. This is Corona. So the question I have, because this is the question that I think is real important to this question to me. So, because here's the deal, right? We go places with mask on. We don't go places with mask on. We'll talk about that in a second. So let's just say, sis. Sorry, she's like a sister to me, but she's not really my sister. So, Jen. So let's say that I come to youth, right? I come tonight, bebopping in, and let's say I'm fine. I've got no temperature. They check my temperature. I'm good. But let's say I have this. This is inside of me or whatever. Let's just say I have the corona, okay? I have this virus, but don't even know it, but I have it. Let's say I come walking in and I'm like, ah! And I just sneeze like everywhere. So I sneeze. So what what happens? Does this like come out of my nose and then like go and land on your shoulder? Do you like sniff it? You know, I mean, what happens when this? How is this thing exerted from my body? Do I fart it out? I mean, how does it come? I'm sorry, I'm being real. How does it come out of my body for you to? And then how do you catch it? Can you explain that, please?
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me.
Okay.
Corona.
So first of all, you can't see the virus. Like it is blown up. Even the microscope pictures you've seen, which is what I copied just to make this, that's like 10 million times blown up. So it's you can't see it. So you can sneeze it out, you can cough it out, you can't actually poop it out. So you were joking, but but there's still different ways you can catch it. And we're going to try to make this fun. I don't want this to be boring. This is not supposed to be like going to the doctor and getting lectured. So there's droplets. So like if somebody spits on you, like if I went like that, but that was spit, that's a droplet. So that would almost have to go like directly in your mouth, which is pretty gross if you think about it. But then there's something.
So real quick.
Yeah.
So let's say it didn't get in my mouth and it just hit me on my face. If I don't swallow it, then I'm good?
If you don't touch your face and then touch your eyes, your nose, your mouth, you're good. That's
gotcha.
why they're saying wash your hands, wash your hands, wash your hands.
Okay.
It's got to get in your body some way.
Inside. Okay.
Right.
Cool.
So, but the biggest thing, and I brought what girls have, which is hairspray.
I do too. It's called beard spray.
Beard spray. All right. So look at this, and I don't want to make a mess, but watch what happens when you spray. Right. It's everywhere. They're saying that the virus can stay in the air for up to 180 minutes. What? That's a long time. And you see how far away it is, hence the 6 feet they want us to stay apart. That's why. Because now all you have to do is walk into that cloud, inhale it, and now it's in your body.
Now, okay, here's a question. So you say 180 minutes?
Minutes.
Okay, so, but how long?
It can live here.
Is it? But yeah. So it comes out of my nose. Huh, I sneeze like you just did. Does it like? Does it? How dense is it? I mean, how far does it go? Does it fly? I mean, what does it? Does it finally hit the surface? I guess, or does it just float around? And
I mean, it eventually hits the surface, but then it can live for hours or days on the surface of something.
Okay, good. So this is living. Let's just say this surface, which we use the Germinator here at Destination Church, so there's a little bit difference there. So this is on the surface, and I come over here and I'm like, I just put my hand on the surface, and I'm like, ooh. You're dead. No. And so that could happen.
Right. That's why, they're saying clean everything, and then not necessarily cleaning everything, but clean yourself. Wash your hands. That's the biggest thing is washing your hands.
So what does, okay, so, wow, so it could, wow, okay. So let's just say we're going to the van ride, right? And we're gonna go on a van. We're going on a trip on our favorite rocket. We're going on our van ride, okay? And 15 of us are packed into the van. Why? And we checked though. All of us are good. We checked our temperature. We're good. Nobody's showing anything. Why? What is the issue with us doing that?
So just because you checked a temperature, that means you're not sick right now. But they think that the virus can take anywhere up to 2 days to 2 weeks for you to develop symptoms. So let's say you didn't have a temperature, but you actually have it. And we come in here and sit on the van together this close for 4 or 5 hours down to Daytona, and you sneeze on me, and you have it. You didn't know it, but you just sneeze, and you think it's your allergies. Now I probably have it because, see how close we are? Yeah. And in a closed space like a van, there's no fresh air circulating. It's now on the surface of everything in the van, so it's almost impossible not to spread it.
So it's, okay, so that's why we wouldn't have a van ride together that close. So what's the idea with social distancing? So what's the, I mean, I kind of understand, but
right.
what's the big thing with keeping 6 foot? Why not 20 feet?
So
why not 2 feet? Why not 1 foot? Why not like, I'm still social distancing from you. We're 6 inches apart.
Right. I think the biggest thing is the aerosolization, not the big droplets like a runny nose or whatever. That's droplets. The aerosol, because it can spread so far. 6 feet, maybe they pulled that out of the air. It's not 100% foolproof, I guess. You could be 8 feet, you could be 4 feet, or whatever. It's just a matter of not being right up under each other. Well, you might get to this part about the testing, but the 6 feet is just an attempt to not spread this, because if I spread it to one person and then they go out, you've seen all the diagrams. If then they go out and they're near 5 people who weren't sick, now they've potentially given it to 5 people. So it's just a matter of keeping a distance to try to not spread it to as many people as we can.
So I'm young, though. I mean, teenagers, it hasn't hit the teenagers, right? And young people. And again, please hear me, guys. We're not trying to do fear. I'm just trying to just reality, okay? This is kind of the whys behind it. I'm not saying that, but like.
Wait, before we go to that, I forgot I knew I was going to say something. Do a lot of you know Albany is pretty close to us. That was one of the cities that was hit pretty hard. Do you know how it started in Albany? It was a funeral. Yeah, there was a guy from Atlanta who had the virus. And this is not a rumor, this is fact. They traced it back. He had the virus. He came to a funeral, and they think that's kind of how the biggest numbers got started in Albany. Same thing here in Waycross. Our biggest numbers got started at a church. A big group of numbers was from a choir practice. So that was where I was going. I forgot. I was trying to get my train of thought with the 6 feet. So those people aren't necessarily hugging on each other or, always right next to each other. But you think about a choir practice, they're just singing. So any kind of thing where you're sort of projecting out, yelling at somebody, singing, the coughing, obviously. But that's a biggest deal for the separation, is just because that's how they're seeing that it's spread, is when these tight groups of people come together for prolonged periods of time. All right, now.
I gotcha. So, okay, so I'm hanging out with people that I love and care about, and I accidentally give Allie a side hug, and I go, oh no, not that she's got, but what you, okay, I know, but still, I'm saying, so is it because so is it best, like, after interactions with people like that, we wash our hands and go home and just, is that kind of the better thing to do, is just to,
like with any contact?
Yeah, any contact with people. I mean, because it's just that could be like craziness.
Yeah, I mean, you can't let it like get you crazy scared. I mean, we've got to live our life. We've got to function. They just want us to be smart about things. If you know you're exposed, that's one thing. Then you need to take precautions. Go home, maybe take your clothes off somewhere. They immediately get washed, something like that. But otherwise, no, I don't think we need to be like
living in fear.
Yeah,
right?
like, well, maybe so and so had it and I don't know, so I'm just going to freak out. I mean, you have to work with facts, kind of.
Mm-hmm. So I want her to share a story or share a couple things, because I think what happens in life is this, and this is just me, and I think if it's you, then it's you. The closer you are to a situation, the more it becomes real to you, the more it becomes very like, wow, this is serious stuff, right? So just let's take for instance DUIs, for instance, drinking and driving. Like, maybe you're like, I'm concerned about that, but let's say you have a best friend that died from DUI. Guess what? DUIs went really high up on your scale as far as concern, and you're everybody you're thinking about. I mean, does that make sense? The concern level goes way up. You're very concerned now about it because you know someone that's very close to you. I know no one right now that has died of COVID-19. And I don't say that like, oh, I just don't. I'm not close to it at all. I believe that I know it's real. I have nobody that, now if I did, would my tone change in this? Sure, yes, it would. So, but you have to, while you're sharing this, you have to like suit up, right? Like you got to like, every time you go to do it, and then you have to re-suit up, basically, after every procedure, every surgery, everything you do?
Not necessarily for surgeries, but when we had our first big cases of patients with the virus, the ones who were very sick were put on the breathing machine. And when we knew we were going to be taking care of those patients is when we had to suit up, think like sci-fi movie, everything on your body covered, mask, gloves, all that kind of thing. That's when we would take the precautions, when we knew we were about to take care of those patients. And
you brought some that you want to, okay, so
yeah,
I'm gonna go try this on what she's got to normally wear, but I want you to share, if you would, share what you do for a living, because some of you don't know what she does as far as what does anesthesiologist mean, and then share just a few things of why this is important to you and the thought of it being, especially with older people, those that because like for me, I'm good and I'm fine, but it's not necessarily about me being good and me being fine. So can you just share that?
So have any of you had surgery before? Been put to sleep? Yeah? Yep. So that's what I do. I put you to sleep for surgery, but I also help when patients are very sick in the ICU and they can't breathe on their own anymore, they call us to come and put them on the breathing machine. And so we have to use some special equipment to basically put this in. I don't know if you can see it, but it's just a clear tube. It goes down their throat, and it helps them breathe. So it's kind of a scary thought process that you're that sick and you need that. So that's kind of what I do every day. And so I'll be the first to tell you, to me, when I first heard of COVID, when I first heard that our church was even taking precautions for COVID, I thought, this is crazy. We're going to scare people. This is nothing. We don't need to be worrying about this. And when we had our first patient come to the hospital here who tested positive that we were putting on the breathing machine, that's when it became real to me, because these are patients that are not, well, some of them were younger than me. They weren't necessarily people with a bunch of health problems that you would think couldn't fight off an infection. So it became pretty scary. So my thinking changed pretty quickly. I saw these patients, and I'm going to be real with you, this is not to scare you, but I saw these patients gasping for breath. They were still awake, and I basically had to tell them, I'm about to put this breathing tube in to help you breathe better. And some of those people, I was the last person they spoke to. We have had deaths in Ware County from COVID, so it is very real. I won't get into the arguments about, all the things you might read on social media, that it's a conspiracy, whatever. I won't get into any arguments about that because I've seen it firsthand, and I believe it's real. It's a very serious illness. So like Johnny said, once you've been affected by something, it is very easy to then take a stance on it that's pretty strong. So that's kind of how I am. Do I wear a mask in the store? No, pretty rarely, actually. I don't go in the store. I don't go out a lot because I have been exposed. But the biggest thing for you to know is that you guys are all, you look healthy. I would assume you're pretty healthy. But you can take it home. So if you're exposed at adrenaline, you're going to do fine. But you might go home and visit a grandparent who wouldn't be fine. Or you might have a friend who has an autoimmune disease that you don't know about who wouldn't be fine if they got this. So that's kind of why we took such a strong stance on it, because believe me, we sure want you to have a good summer, and we wish you could go this year. So I hate that for you. How is the dressing going? So Johnny's going to demonstrate what we have to put on before we can even walk in the patient's room that we think has COVID. Even the patients we think have COVID, not even the ones that we know for sure have COVID. And then to come out of the room, we have to take everything off one step at a time, washing our hands in between each thing that we take off. So it's a big, sweaty mess. Okay.
Okay, so like when you go get tested at like someone in the department, if they have that on, what if they have that on and they're coming like each car? They're not very close though, but they're coming kind of close, and especially like there's like military people up there too.
Right.
And what if they were to test somebody with corona, go up to somebody's car, and they test negative, but they still wear the same thing? So would that basically be giving it to somebody that didn't have it before just because they're
Because they kept the same clothes on. They should be changing the clothes every time.
I don't think they change their clothes after every car because it's really long lines.
Yeah.
So I was just,
Yeah. I mean, I would not go out of a patient's room with this on to another patient's room, even if I knew they had COVID. I would change everything and redo it all over again. It's really, really hot, isn't it?
Yes.
He's got 2 masks on. One set of gloves or 2?
I couldn't get the other one off.
He tried.
That's sad. What?
So, hold on.
You can take this. You can take the shield off.
So that.
But hold on. So, what?
Oh yeah, what do you gotta do after you take it off? Throw it
Okay,
away?
no. So the first thing you would do is leave this on. You take your shoe covers off, change gloves, wash your hands, put a new set of gloves on, then take your gown off, take your gloves off, wash your hands, put a new set of gloves on, take this off, careful not to touch your face at all, put it in a bag because resources are so limited, we have to use these over and over and over again. Yep. So take this off, put it in a bag, wash your hands, take this off, try not to contaminate anything on your face because you have to reuse it all. You see the steps.
You have to reuse it, but how do you clean it? How do you
They have special wipes that have determined are strong enough to kill the virus.
Okay, you say they're all like, so they're all like go to you as your belongings, like nobody else can get a hold of them.
No. Yeah, we put them in, and this is not ideal. It's because everybody is short on resources in the country. Now, we're okay now. Our hospital determined after about 2 or 3 weeks we were going to be fine, but we still are reusing. Yeah, our numbers have slowed down. I know some surrounding counties, the numbers are going back up, so I'm not sure what. They're thinking maybe in the fall, just like the flu, that it'll possibly shoot back up. Hopefully, they may have a vaccine by then, but I doubt it. Really? See, we were good, but we work. Our hospital is owned by a huge corporation, so we're good. Right. And that's the big argument is, how many millions of people every year get the flu, so why is this any worse? And the reason, well, I'll be honest, they don't know a lot yet. It is a virus, so that's the same. The way you catch it is pretty much the same. It is a little more contagious, and I think it stays longer on surfaces and in the air. It's kind of weird because younger kids don't get it as often. So, did you die? Oh no. I wondered about that. So her question was, is there a difference between the flu and COVID-19? And so the biggest difference is how patients react to it when they get it. Some people get it, and I am convinced of this. I think it was here in December, January. I'm pretty sure my husband had it. He had an illness that was not the flu. He couldn't get better. But it's how people's bodies react to it. Some people get this huge inflammatory response, and all that means is just their body is trying to attack it, and it sits in the lungs and causes a terrible, terrible pneumonia. And that's the biggest thing. There's no treatment for it, just like the flu. It's what they call supportive care, so you're just taking care of the symptoms. But yeah, that's the biggest thing is that people are getting much sicker. The ones who get sick get much sicker, and that's the biggest difference between that and the flu.
Oh, there's a question. A question up front.
Question up front.
Young lady at the front.
Just leave the microphone
Just
up
leave
there.
the microphone. No, I'm kidding.
Probably. Just leave it. Okay, let me think how I'm going to word this. Hold on. So when somebody has it, how was I about to word this? Hold on. Talking to a mic is so different than talking in.
We'll just pretend like it's not there.
Let me think. Okay, so I know a lot of people that had it in contact with and you didn't get it, and with some people it was getting it, it wasn't affecting them at all.
Right.
So why was that? Was it from a previous time of having it, like you said? I know people that had it in December, but they tested negative for the flu and they didn't know what it was.
Right.
And you've been in contact, but you test negative or test positive showing no symptoms. Why is it slowed down now than it was in March, April, whatever?
Right. So the reason technically you can say that it has slowed down now is because we've been able to test more people. So what you're seeing is a smaller percentage. So we're testing more, and of that bigger group that we're testing, there's still positives, but there's not as many positives. Now, some people are going to be exposed to it and might have zero symptoms. Their body just can handle it or whatever. Some people will be exposed to it and will get just, a cough. One of the crazy first signs is a lack of smell. Some people will get that and nothing else. If they have that, they can still pass it to somebody, even though they weren't acutely sick and really, really bad off. They can still pass it to somebody. So I'm trying to remember what your original question was. So the reason I think people had it back in December, and again, that's just my opinion, is just because we didn't know to test it. They were really sick. I think it was the same number of people that we're seeing now that got it and they're really sick. Some of them are just a lot sicker, and we know now to tell them, hey, you need to go to the hospital and get treatment. But the majority of people who are healthy are going to be able to get it and recover at home and may not even need to be tested.
What about the definition of how to carry it?
I think what they're saying now is more so than being a carrier, like a like a gene carrier, is that you are pre-symptomatic and you gave it to somebody, and either you didn't ever develop really bad symptoms or you never developed symptoms enough. But I think they've changed that thinking that you're not necessarily a carrier. They would still probably, if they went and got tested, test positive, or you test positive for the virus, just like they swab you for the flu, or they test your blood and you test positive for antibodies. Antibodies means your body was exposed to the virus at one point in time and tried to fight it off or did fight it off. So some people may show positive for antibodies and never knew they had it. I know that's a lot of
No, that's good. That's good. So just so you know, if you come to the destination regularly, Jen would be glad to answer any questions. We do have other doctors too. But is this helpful? Does it help? I mean, we don't want to bore you. I wanted you to know the why. Is this helpful to some of you to just understand how this thing happens and the severity of it, but also the reasons why we're doing some of the things that we're doing? Can y'all give her a hand for being here? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
You can keep the outfit.
I can keep this. Maybe we'll do this as the giveaway. We used to give away the chicken. Now we're going to give away... No, I'm kidding. We're not going to do that. That's just weird. Okay, we're not... Yeah, give away Rona. No, we're not going to do that. So, hey, before I pass it off to Pastor Jay, and we're going to get into groups just for a little while tonight, I was been thinking about this. We're going to be planning some things for groups and stuff, but if you're interested, I'm just going to throw this out there. I'm not sure when, but I want to take some people fishing on Jekyll Island. So if you're interested, most of you guys know, come see me, say, hey, I'm interested, text me, whatever, say, I want to go shark fishing. I want to go one night out there and go fishing. So just let me know. I'd love to go take some guys. I don't care who it is, to go fishing. Some girls, too. Yeah, some girls. I don't care. So I said guys and girls. So, all right, Pastor Jay's going to come up here. He's going to tell you a little bit about, make sure we're in groups. We're going to break up into groups tonight. Tonight's just going to be kind of get to know each other overview, and then we'll be done. So, thank you so much, Jen, again for being here. There you go.
I muted that one. All right. Hey, so that was good, right? That was good. Very, very good. Thank you, Miss Jen, for coming and helping us out. So I got all of our sign-ups. This is what we're going to do, okay? We've got 4 groups, so I'm going to call out all of you who are going to be going in each group and get you to head on out. So if I could get Pastor Justin and Miss Chelsea to come over here to this door over here. Y'all are going to get to go know God. Daniel Mitchum, Carson Brennick, and Rhythm Broadhead. Head on over here with Miss Chelsea and Pastor Justin. Y'all going to go with them. Justin, where are y'all going? Are y'all going to DC2? DC1. You're going to do number 1 or number 2? Which are you going to do? You're going to do number 1. Okay. Yeah. All right. For those of you who are going with Miss Christine over to Journey, if you'll meet Miss Christine out here in the back. All right, that's going to be Jazzy Corson.